So my name is Scott Rubenstein. I live in East Hampton, and I've lived here for 53 years. So right now you're at the clubhouse. We built this in July of 2018 when the bowling alley had closed down in East Hampton. So we built a 10-lane bowling alley. We have an arcade. We have a nice outdoor mini golf, indoor-outdoor dining, and almost an acre of outdoor lawn space. Well, we started noticing in February people were getting concerned, but it was mid-March, I think it was around March 14th, that it was a Saturday, and it was a group of young ladies, part of a bridal shower, that came to have their shower here, and they were playing cornhole, and they were wearing gloves. And there was just something about that that just didn't look and feel right. So I said to my staff, we should close down. Let's close down for a week. Let's see what's going to happen. And unbeknownst to me, 4 days later, the governor closed down the state. The rest of the world closed down. I actually contracted COVID. So I was quarantined for 28 days. But we realized then that there was not going to be any fun here, and we shouldn't be a part of the problem. Well, that second day when I was home, which I think was March 18th or 19th, and you're sitting there in your room with the doors shut. My wife wouldn't let me come out, wouldn't even let me open the doors. I couldn't stop coughing, sweating, and you're looking at TV and you're seeing the stock market go down 3,000 points a day, and you're hearing of Italy and France and other countries completely closing down, China, and you're starting to wonder, how can you survive this? The only saving grace was we knew nobody could survive it. It was something going on in the entire world. It wasn't something I created. So we were scared. We were very scared. And I think within 2 weeks, the PPP money came out, was available, and it gave us some hope that even if we never paid it back and were never forgiven, that there was some money there. Well, realizing that we didn't put away enough money for a pandemic. It was not in my business model. I have partners, and we looked at those numbers and deals, and we didn't consider this. When we first opened, bowling was closed. We opened in July. Arcade was still closed. Indoor dining was 25%, and outdoor dining was open, but there was such restrictions on the outdoor dining that we couldn't figure out how to make it work. You had to wear masks. You couldn't walk up to the bar. You couldn't sit at the bar. You couldn't get up from the table to go to the bathroom without a mask. There were more ways to lose your liquor license and get in trouble than there was to actually make money. And that's when I was scared, because I figured I'm going to get in trouble here. But that became the good news for me, because having an acre of lawn gave me a little bit of an advantage over some of the other businesses. So we were able to get 300 seats out on the lawn, and we had the tables 10 feet apart, and we were very strict about the rules. We took this very seriously. People appreciated that, and we ended up becoming very busy. And this big grass lawn that I never used, except to play ping pong and cornhole and have some fun, suddenly became very popular, and now we're using it this year also. Everything is done on email. Everything's done by text. Everything is done by reservations over your phone. People don't even call you anymore. And when they were coming in, we barely spoke to them. Nobody wanted to speak to you. They just mentioned they had a reservation, or they would click that they were here, and then you would tell them what table they were at, and they would walk to their table. We found people were willing to come back and just come in and have dinner with us, play around a mini golf. That also opened up for us. So people enjoyed that. Anything outdoors, anything to keep them outdoors. But people were afraid also, and they were having their own business issues and business concerns and health concerns. So we're still getting their support, we're still getting their events, but it was a scary time. I would say what I had mentioned before, the outdoor lawn. I finally am taking advantage of this big 1 acre of lawn. We put a stage out there this summer, which we didn't have last year. So we have live music 5 nights a week. We still have the picnic tables. And if it's nice outside, I don't even open inside. I'm not interested in risking it or taking any chances. But we stay outside, and people love it out there, and they love that we have music, and we don't charge for the music. It's included in the experience. I think there were 2 conversations that were being had. There was one, the people who were so serious about this, concerned, watched every little thing we did, and rightly so, and questioned everything we did, and appreciated that we took this seriously. Then there was the other conversation where people thought this was just a joke, it was a hoax, it was a bad case of a cold, you had just a bad cold, and why are you making such a big deal? What do you mean I have to put my mask on to walk to the bathroom? Why can't I just get up out of my seat and go to the bar and ask them to make me a drink? Why do I have to eat food? Why can't I sit next to someone without a mask? And I think that was the toughest part, because you need both customers. And this soon shall end, and you need both customers. So you didn't want to alienate anyone. I enjoyed having the rules, spelled out for me, because I could say they're not my rules. Listen, it's not my rules. You see that liquor license on the wall? I don't want to lose my liquor license. You don't want me to lose my liquor license. So I'm not disagreeing or agreeing with your position on this pandemic, but we don't want to lose our liquor license. So I've got to ask you to please sit down. Please put your mask on. We've got to close up by 10 o'clock, so it's last call at 9:30. Made it a little bit easier having the rules in place. Not having us make up our own rules. But there were definitely two conversations. I took this very seriously. I have a manager who wasn't sure if this was real or not real, until within 1 week she lost her stepfather and her uncle. And suddenly it was real. And I think that's the problem with this. It was a no-win situation for Dr. Fauci, for the government, for whomever, begged people to listen and just be aware that this is a serious disease, until someone passed. And then they took it seriously. And that's the problem with this. I would say to people, I'm 62 years old. I never knew of 600,000 people dying in 1 year from anything. Why is this not taken seriously? And 600,000 people died, and we wore masks. We didn't go to concerts. We didn't go to bars. We didn't go to bowling alleys. We weren't in crowded airplanes and crowded subways. We stayed 6 feet apart, and still 600,000 people died in our country. That's a lot of people. And I think that's the one thing that I wish we could get across, and people will always remember that if we just took it seriously from day one, the whole country, maybe over now, maybe a different pandemic. And so that's my only thought on it. Family. My family. That is the word, because I was scared for them. I have 3 children, 30 at that time, 34, 32, and 29. I have 2 grandchildren. I have a lovely daughter-in-law. I had another grandchild on the way, and all I could think of was family. Did we do something to this planet, to this world, that this is how they were going to live for the rest of their life? Seeing my 4-year-old grandson wearing a mask every day and accepting it. The kids were great. They would sit in the car, they would take it off. We'd get out of the car, they would put it back on. They understood, but just thinking that this could be how we're going to live. And I don't know how this pandemic started, but I'm a believer in what we're doing to the planet is not good, whether it's climate, global warming, whether our pandemics and the aerosols and everything that we do. So that was my fear, my family. I'm 62. Life's been great to me. They're at that time 4 and 2 and ready to be born, and that's what really was the one word, family.